For the first time in a long time, the numbers in the AL Central standings are not favorable to the Cleveland Guardians. The Guards got swept by the Yankees yesterday, 8-4 the final. Parker Messick took the loss. Carlos Rodon took the win. And now the Guardians are a half game out of first place, looking up at the pesky White Sox. Me and Ant were going through the White Sox roster this morning. Jason, I cannot believe how few players I could actually name on that Chicago squad, and they are now sitting atop the AL Central. We did know Fence Riders last week unanimously picked the Guardians to win the AL Central by more than 5.5 games. So, Earl, what do you make of this recent slide for the Guardians, and how concerned should people be that they no longer retain the number one spot in the AL Central division?
I wouldn't be concerned at all. I kind of stopped thinking like that after last year when I seen the Cleveland Guardians make history, come from behind, and win a division. Baseball is one of those sports that's tricky, and it's a long season. It's hard for me to make too much of the Guardians falling out of first place on June 11th when I done seen the Guardians 14, 15 games back. And, late August, early September, they come roaring back because of their own winning streak, and then a combination of things outside of their control kind of falling in their favor. This is just the nature of the beast. And then you look at this division, it's not like one team in this division is that much stronger than the other. I was shocked as, the season kind of started to go on and you seen the Chicago White Sox, not the Detroit Tigers or the Minnesota Twins sitting in second place. And it's like, okay, well, this is new season. This is the team we're going to be competing with. Last couple of years it was the Detroit Tigers. And, I think it's going to be some jockeying back and forth throughout the summer. But, this is a team that is third year under Stephen Vogt. And they've been here before. They know what it takes to get it done. They got a lot of young, exciting prospects. And so I wouldn't make too much of them falling out of first place now. It doesn't change my opinion of them ultimately turning around and winning this division altogether.
Well, Jason, to his point, I don't change the way I think about the Guardians, but I always thought about the Guardians in this lens. Yeah, they can win the Central. That's cool. But what do you do against some of the bigger teams? I don't like the way they've been playing lately. They've been playing against the Yankees the last couple of two series. I didn't like the way they played in both those series. I didn't like the way they played against the Red Sox. I look at the way that the Yankees won that series, and I'm like, well, they were out without Judge both series, and Jazz Chisholm killed them. I mean, Paul Goldschmidt just destroyed. I got tired of seeing that man at the plate. This man, every single time he came up, he was getting a nice base hit. He was getting something. It was clutch hitting. And the thing that hurts a little bit too is Messick was on the mound yesterday. I thought he did a really good job of battling back after the Guardians had came back and kind of tied it and got the lead. I thought he bared down and threw well, but the problem is the Guardians can't seem to get the timely hitting like they needed. And the pitching is not where the levels that we used to see, Jason. Right now, Cantillo, you worry about. Ciccone, you worry about. Bybee, you worry about. Gavin Williams and Messick have been great. But then even the bullpen, I don't trust nobody besides Cade Smith coming out of the bullpen in these last few games. Maybe it's me, or the pitching scares me more than it has over the last couple of years.
Yeah, they've had some injuries. They got to get some guys back healthy. The White Sox are one of the best stories in baseball this year. Who could have ever imagined when the season started that we'd be talking about Chicago in first place and Detroit 8.5 games out? I still don't. What was the original question?
Just your overall take on getting swept by the Yankees at home and no longer being in first, their struggles.
I thought with that Fence Riders, I thought I said that they would not win by 6 or more. But maybe I'm wrong because I thought it would be right around there. Mm-hmm. I'm not ready to rule out the Tigers making a run. Scooble's on a rehab assignment.
He's pitching Saturday. It's official.
Oh, I didn't see that. He's back with Detroit?
He's against the Guardians this Saturday.
Oh, I missed that. Wow. So
this happened during the show. Like, you didn't miss it because this happened during the show. It was officially announced.
So he missed what? Like less than 2 months, I think.
That's trouble.
It seems like, man, with a player that good, I feel like he only missed 2 weeks. Like,
and like, what if this works and he comes back and he pitches well? This will revolutionize some of the way that they handle that elbow surgery going forward. But that's the topic for another day. Detroit has no reason, and I was advocating for the Guardians to try and make a push for Scuba the other day, but if you're Detroit, you're holding on to the very end. Like, this is it. The last thing you want to do is sell. So I still think they've got a run in them. The White Sox are so young, and some of their players, I think, are playing over their skis just a little bit, and they've got holes in whether or not they look. It'll be fascinating to see what they do at the deadline if they say, we're going to hold because we don't want to go all in too soon. We're sort of ahead of schedule here. Or if they do say, hey, the American League's wide open, let's go for it now, because they've got a good farm system. They just brought up another top outfielder the other day. Their big first baseman, Murakami, is on the DL with hamstring. He'll be back at some point. I think they need bullpen help. I think they need another starter. I would still pick the Guardians to win this division, whether or not it's by 5, 6 games, whatever. I still think Cleveland's the favorite to win. But Chicago has been a great story that I think they'll hang around all year, and I'm not ready to throw dirt on Detroit either.
Well, I guess I don't really doubt the Guardians can win the Central. I don't doubt that. The thing that I'm measuring it against is I'm watching the Yankees, and I'm like, well, if you don't got Judge, I was very surprised of how they were able to hit in that lineup, and the lineup looked pretty, looked like they were struggling, past Judge getting, and then all of a sudden Aaron Judge just gives Jazz Chisholm his bat, and then all of a sudden he's Babe Ruth. I don't understand it, bro.
Tom Hamilton called him out, and it was the jinx. He jinxed him.
And this dude had a crazy series. I mean, Rice, he's playing well. I just think, to me, I go back and look at the Yankees, and maybe it's just in my mind, and it's seared in there. Like when the Guardians had Clase, and it just seemed like the Guardians would outplay the Yankees for 9 innings. And you're just like, they're outplaying them. They're getting hits. And then the Yankees would jump up, get at the plate, and they're like, oh, yeah, here's a 3-run home run.
Yeah.
And it just would just deflate you.
Yeah.
It just seems like you just don't have enough. And if they need one of these other pitchers, I don't know who it's going to be. They need one of the 3 to step up, because I think if you get a top-notch Messick, if you get a top-notch Gavin Williams, and you can get somebody else, and I think Cantillo was playing at that level, it gives you an opportunity where you can say in a series against the Yankees or a team, maybe the Rays, that you feel like you're comfortable and confident that you can win that series. But right now, I'm just a little deterred. I'm just just deflated, because I thought Messick pitched pretty well last night.
Well, they took 2 or 3 from New York just last week, right?
In New York they did.
So now the Yankees got them back here. They're 2 fairly evenly matched teams. Judge will be back probably August, I would think. They're not going to rush him back. The New York is probably the class of the American League, but they're by no means infallible.
No, they're not.
The American League is wide open. So I do, like Bull and I were talking about the other day, I think that they need another starter. Mm-hmm. Every team needs more bullpen help. You can never have enough relievers the way the game's played today. And obviously you would Yordan Alvarez is the pie-in-the-sky bat that you would want, but Houston, again, has shown no inclination to selling out to this point. They're not going to get all of that. So at some point, we're going to have, I'm sure, the conversation of what do you prioritize at the deadline as we get closer to that. What do the Guardians need more? I think they need another starter, but the price on starting pitching at the deadline is so astronomical. You have to overpay for everyone that's out there. But they have the pieces to go get whatever they want.
I'm like Jason. I really didn't look at this. Okay, we got swept. So what? Baseball, you're going to get swept sometime. We just got the Yankees last week, and if you actually watch the games, it's not like the Guardians didn't have an opportunity to win these games. How many runners did they leave in scoring position? How many opportunities did they have to either win the, tie the game or take the lead, in certain situations, late inning situations, and they just didn't capitalize. So if you actually sat down and you watched the games and you seen how the Guardians played, yeah, they came up short. But, they were in pretty much, just about every game they were in with the Yankees, you could have walked away victorious. It's just a matter of a pitch here, pitch there. I mean, a bad pitch here. Next thing you know, 2-run home run.
Yeah.
And, so it's different. It's different.
You know what's different? This sounds, Earl, what he just said, that sound like the same post-game reaction from the San Antonio Spurs. A basket here, a basket there.
An apology here, an apology there.
And 29-point lead gets dashed. I can't stand the Knicks. We'll come back and talk about that later on as we get to a little bit of NBA Finals right here on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.